From the Southwest Network of Radio Nigeria, the time is 2 o'clock.
A very good afternoon to you and a warm welcome to another edition of The World Today. It is a Southwest Network program of Radio Nigeria, Ibadan Zonal Station, comprising news and feature. In our lineup, court sentences Orire school abduction suspects to life imprisonment. Nigeria Customs Service cautions Nigerians on fake recruitment posts. 6 candidates jostle for UN Secretary General's seat. US signs landmark deal with Saudi Arabia on nuclear program. Heart of the matter today is on protecting Nigerians from attacks and abuse in foreign lands. My name is Emilia Ojemuda, and reading with me is
Remy Omolola. You can also listen to us via live stream www.radionigeriapada.gov.ng or watch us live on Facebook at Prem FM 93.5. Now, the news in full. The Federal High Court in Abuja sentenced 3 suspects linked to the abduction of pupils and teachers in Orire local government area of Oyo State to life imprisonment. Justice Salim Ibrahim ordered that the life sentence should take effect from the date of the convict's arrest. Before sentencing, Defense Counsel urged the court to exercise leniency, arguing that the defendants were first-time offenders who had pleaded guilty to the charges against them. The lawyer submitted that their guilty plea demonstrated remorse, adding that the offences for which they are convicted were not directly related to the kidnappers itself. The defense therefore appealed to the judge to give them a second chance at life by imposing a lighter sentence. The prosecution, however, opposed the plea for leniency, arguing that the convicts were aware of those involved in the Criminal Operation Act and as law-abiding citizens ought to have reported the information to the relevant authority instead of concealing them.
The Court of Appeal in Abuja has refused an application for bail pending appeal filed by a former Director of Finance and Administration of the Abuja Metropolitan Management Council under the Federal Capital Territory Administration (FCTA), Mr. Garba Dukku, who was sentenced to 24 years imprisonment for diverting about 319 million naira in public funds. Mr. Dukku had approached the Court of Appeal seeking bail pending the determination of his appeal against the judgment of the Federal High Court. A statement issued by the spokesman for the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, Mr. John Ode, said the appellate court held that Dukku failed to establish exceptional circumstances to justify the grant of bail pending the determination of his appeal. The court, however, ordered an accelerated hearing of the substantive appeal to ensure its expeditious determination.
The National Human Rights Commission in Borno State says it has received over 600 cases of domestic violence, child abuse, human trafficking, and other human rights violations between January and July this year. The state coordinator of the commission, Ms. Jummai Michelia, disclosed this in an interview with newsmen in Maiduguri, the state capital. Ms. Michelia said this underscored the growing confidence of residents in the commission's services. According to her, the cases reported to the commission cut across a wide range of human rights concerns, including sexual and gender-based violence.
The Federal High Court in Lagos has fixed tomorrow to rule on an application by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) seeking permission to destroy a clandestine methamphetamine laboratory uncovered in a remote forest in Ogun State. Justice Musa Kakaki fixed the date after a special court sitting held at the facility in Mowe Village, Ijebu East local government area of the state. The NDLEA had, on the 10th of this month, arraigned 3 Mexicans and 7 Nigerians on an 11-count charge bordering on the alleged establishment and operation of the clandestine laboratory. The defendants were accused of manufacturing and possessing large quantities of methamphetamine, a psychotropic substance classified alongside cocaine, heroin, and LSD.
Officers of the Delta State Police Command have arrested 22 suspects and rescued 2 minors during an intelligence-led raid on suspected illicit drug dens and criminal hideout in Ozoro and Abraka communities. The operation, carried out on the 21st of July, was part of the command's ongoing campaign against illicit drug trafficking and related crimes across the state. The police public relations officer, Mr. Brighted Duffy, disclosed this in an interview, saying that the operation was led by the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of the Department of Operations. The operation led to the arrest of 22 suspects, comprising 19 males and 3 females, for offences relating to sale, possession, and distribution of illicit drugs, reaffirmed the command's commitment to dismantling drug trafficking networks and protecting vulnerable persons.
The Nigeria Customs Services (NCS) has warned Nigerians to disregard a fake recruitment update circulating on social media, saying it did not originate from the service. The NCS, in a statement, urged members of the public to rely only on information released through its official communications channels for authentic updates on its activities, including recruitment. Security agencies and government institutions have repeatedly warned citizens against engaging in unofficial recruitment notices. The Customs Service advised Nigerians to verify information through its official platforms before sharing or acting on it.
The Federal High Court, sitting in Ilorin, Kwara State, has convicted and sentenced 2 individuals and imposed a fine on a company for engaging in illegal mining activities in violation of the Nigerian Mineral and Mining Act 2007. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, disclosed the convictions in a statement posted on its official Facebook page. The EFCC stated that the judgment followed the successful prosecution of the defendants by its Ilorin Zonal Directorate. The convicts, Samuel Sunday and Saeed Akanchi, alongside his company, were arraigned for Justice Abimbola Wogboro on separate charges bordering on unlawful dealing in and processing of solid minerals without the prerequisite licenses. According to the EFCC, the prosecution stemmed from credible intelligence indicating that some individuals are illegally processing and trading in solid minerals in part of Kwara State without obtaining the licenses required under the law.
Nigeria Governors Forum (NGF), in collaboration with the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention (NCDC), the World Bank, have unveiled a health security scorecard to strengthen the monitoring of states' preparedness for infectious disease outbreaks and other public health emergencies. The scorecard was unveiled during a health security scorecard validation workshop in Abuja, where health experts and development partners described the initiative as a critical tool for assessing gaps in the state-level health security systems and driving evidence-based interventions. Speaking at the workshop, the executive director of the program partnership at the NGF Secretariat, Dr. Ahmad Abdul Wahab, said the initiative was designed to establish a unified framework for evaluating health security governance across the 36 states of the Federation. Dr. Abdul Wahab said the scorecard would enable states evaluate their current level of preparedness and use the findings to guide future policy decisions and investments. The NCDC boss Dr. Oyeladun Okunromade, said the workshop was aimed at identifying gaps in state health security systems and establishing an accountability workshop for tracking performance.
The Nigeria Governors Forum, NGF, in collaboration with the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the World Bank, and NGOs, has unveiled a health security scorecard to strengthen the monitoring of state preparedness for infectious disease outbreak and other public health emergencies. The scorecard was unveiled during a health program in Abuja, where health experts and development partners described the initiative as a critical tool for assessing gaps in state-level health security systems and driving evidence-based interventions. Speaking at the event, the executive director of the program partner at the NGF Secretariat, Dr. Ahmad Abdul-Wahab, said the initiative was designed to establish a unified framework for evaluating health security governance across the 36 states of the Federation.
Well, apologies for that repeated story. Now, moving on to other stories. The presidency has described a commendation letter sent by the United States President Donald Trump to President Bola Tinubu as further evidence that Nigeria's security collaboration with the United States is producing tangible results. The special advisor to President Bola Tinubu on policy communication, Mr. Daniel Bwala, stated this while featuring on a television program. Mr. Bwala said public attention should focus on the substance of the letter and the progress recorded through the bilateral partnership rather than the timing of its release. According to him, the letter reflects growing international recognition of the President Bola Tinubu administration's efforts to strengthen security cooperation with the United States. The presidential aide added that the letter highlights the progress made in Nigeria's relationship with the United States, noting that similar diplomatic gains are being recorded with other countries.
The crisis in the Ondo State House of Assembly remains unresolved as the majority of lawmakers have issued a Sunday ultimatum to the Speaker, Mr. Olamide Oladiji, to resign from office or face impeachment. 21 of the 26 members of the House have signed an impeachment notice against the Speaker over alleged financial misconduct. The Speaker was also accused of diverting 44 million naira from funds allocated to the reordering of the budget of the Ondo State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission. Speaking with newsmen, the chairman of the House Committee on Information, Mr. Olatunji Fabiyi, said the lawmakers had given the Speaker a few more days to resign, failing which he would be removed at the next plenary sitting. He stressed that the governor had intervened in the matter but had allowed the lawmakers to carry out their legislative duties.
And now to education. At the end of a very thorough, transparent and highly competitive exercise, Professor Peter Olakbigba has emerged as the best candidate for the position of the 14th Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan. The Governing Council considered the report of the selection board and approved the recommendation of the board to appoint Professor Olakbigba as the next Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan. Professor Peter Olakbigba is the current Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration of the university. According to a statement by the Directorate of Public Communication, the post of the Vice Chancellor of University of Ibadan would become vacant on the 1st of November this year, and in accordance with the provisions of extant rules, the Governing Council initiated the process of the appointment.
This is the world today. The story that made the headlines. Courts sentenced Orire school abduction suspect to life imprisonment. Nigeria Customs Service cautioned Nigerians on fake recruitment post. And still to come, 6 candidates jostle for the UN Secretary General's seat. U.S. signs landmark deal with Saudi Arabia on nuclear program. We'll be right back with these and many more after this timeout. Stay with us.
We're glad to know you're still there, and it's the world today coming to you from the stable of Radio Nigeria, Ibadan Zonal Station. Now to the rest of the news. 6 candidates contesting the office of the United Nations Secretary General will participate in a debate at the General Assembly Hall in New York City, the United States of America. The debate is coming 1 week before the normal start of its election process. Report says the candidates will face 90 minutes of questions from diplomats, UN employees, and civil society representatives. The 6 candidates are Michelle Bachelet from Chile, Maria Fernanda from Ecuador, Rafael Grossi from Argentina, a Costa Rican, Rebecca Greenspan, Caroline Rodriguez Burkett from Guyana, and Macky Sall from Senegal, and of course a former president of that country. They are all in the running to succeed the outgoing Secretary General Antonio Guterres. The UN General Assembly President Annalena Baerbock said the debate would provide a rare opportunity to engage with the ideas, priorities, and leadership vision of the candidates.
The US and Saudi Arabia have signed a landmark deal that will reportedly allow the Gulf Kingdom to develop a civilian nuclear program. According to the US Energy Department, the deal is described as a peaceful nuclear cooperation agreement that will provide great access for American companies in the Saudi nuclear energy program. Report says details from the deal was not made public, but US media have reported that it could allow Saudi Arabia to enrich uranium in the future, which can be used to fuel for power plants, but also to make nuclear bombs. According to experts, the deal marks a first for the US and could run the risk of future nuclear proliferation in an already unstable region.
Still on the foreign scene, the United Kingdom has withdrawn the remaining diplomatic members of staff from Iran as the conflict with the US continued to escalate with a 12th night of airstrikes. The Foreign Office of the United Kingdom made this known on their official website. US President Donald Trump had warned earlier that one bridge or power plant would be destroyed for each ship shot at by Iran in the Strait of Hormuz.
Ukrainian drones have hit several retail warehouses belonging to Russia's biggest online retailer, dealing in a big blow to the larger number of small and medium-sized businesses. Kiev says it is now targeting logistics hubs used by Russians to buy military equipment and disrupt supplies to the Russian army. Reports say 7 workers on a night shift were killed in catastrophes and dozens injured.
Survivors of human trafficking said they were lured from Nigeria with promises of jobs and a better life in Côte d'Ivoire, only to end up in forced labor, prostitution, and sexual exploitation. The rescued victims said the traffickers exploited their desire for a better future with false promises of employment. According to a statement issued by the founder of an anti-human trafficking organization, Mr. Prosper Michael, the victims were rescued in a joint operation involving the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, and relevant authorities in Côte d'Ivoire. Recounting her ordeal, one of the victims, Monica Tama, said she accepted a bakery job offer in Abuja before being taken through Lagos to Côte d'Ivoire.
About 12,000 people have been evacuated from southwest of France as the country battles ongoing wildfires, days after 2 firefighters died near Bordeaux Airport. France Interior Minister Laurent Nunez says more than 2,000 hectares of land have been destroyed, but no injuries have been reported. Mr. Nunez said emergency services have been carried out direct on the fire, while the use of internal combustion and electric engine have been banned in predominantly forested areas, and a number of roads have been closed.
It's now time for us to bring you heart of the matter, and it's on protecting Nigerians from attacks and abuse in foreign lands. It is written by an intern from Dominion University, Ibadan, Omolara Adelowo.
Every year, Thousands of Nigerians travel abroad in search of greener pastures, such as better education, employment, business opportunities, and improved living conditions. While many achieve their dreams and make meaningful contributions to their host countries, others face discrimination, exploitation, human trafficking, unlawful detention, and in some cases, even lose their lives. These disturbing realities make the protection of Nigerians abroad a matter of national importance. The safety and welfare of every Nigerian, whether at home or in the diaspora, should remain a priority of government. Citizens anywhere they are must have confidence that their fatherland will stand by them whenever they encounter difficulties beyond its borders. One of the most effective ways to guarantee this is through responsive and efficient diplomatic representation. Nigerian embassies and consulates must be adequately equipped to provide timely assistance to citizens in distress. Whether it involves legal support, emergency travel documents, evacuation during crisis, or intervention in cases of abuse, diplomatic missions should be ready to respond swiftly and effectively. However, government alone cannot shoulder these responsibilities. Prospective travelers also have an important role to play, as there are some things they should put in place before leaving Nigeria. It is mandatory for them to obtain valid travel documents and familiarize themselves with the immigration laws, customs, and culture of their destination country. Equally important is the conduct of Nigerians living in another country. They should respect the laws of host countries with honesty, diligence, and responsible behavior, as these will not only enhance personal safety but also project a positive image of Nigeria in the Committee of Nations. Government agencies like National Orientation Agency (NOA) must also intensify public enlightenment campaigns on the dangers of irregular migration and human trafficking. Many unsuspecting Nigerians continue to fall victim to fraudulent recruiters who lure them abroad with false promises of lucrative jobs, only to expose them to exploitation and abuse. Strong diplomatic relations with other countries are equally vital. There should be healthy international collaboration to make it easier for Nigeria to seek justice for its citizens, negotiate their protection, and secure cooperation during emergencies. Nigerian communities in the diaspora also have a significant role to play by supporting new arrivals, sharing useful information, and offering guidance. Whenever Nigerians experience discrimination, exploitation, or any form of abuse in their host country, they should report such incidents promptly to the appropriate local authorities and the nearest Nigerian embassy or consulate. At the same time, Nigeria must continue to address the root causes that push many young people to seek opportunities abroad through unsafe channels. The government needs to create more jobs, support entrepreneurship, improve education, and strengthen the economy in order to reduce irregular migration and its associated risks. Every Nigerian deserves safety, dignity, and respect, regardless of where they live anywhere in the world. A nation's greatness is measured not only by its achievements, but also by the value it places on the lives and welfare of its citizens, wherever they may be.
That script on protecting Nigerians from attacks and abuse in foreign lands was written by an intern from Dominion University, Ibadan, Omolara Adelawo, and read by Feyi Shara Owomoyela.
And now to end the news on the world today from the stable of Radio Nigeria. Here again are the day's top stories. The Federal High Court in Abuja sentenced 3 suspects linked to the abduction of pupils and teachers in Orire local government area of Oyo State to life imprisonment. The Nigeria Customs Service has warned Nigerians to disregard a fake recruitment update circulating on social media, saying it did not originate from the service. 6 candidates competing for the office of the United Nations Secretary General will today participate in a debate at the General Assembly Hall in the New York City. And last, we also told you in the news that US and Saudi Arabia have signed a landmark deal that will reportedly allow the Gulf Kingdom to develop a civilian nuclear program.
Well, that's it on the world today. Join us tomorrow for the weekend edition of the program. Rotimi Famaki was the editor. I am Emilia Ujimudia, thanking you for your time. And from my colleague,
Remy Omolola, do enjoy the rest of the day. Good afternoon.